Hello, I'll make this quick. Okay, so basically, when you first download the Unity editor for Unity, whatever, you open it up in Unity and you want to make a level, this is what the default one that everyone's given looks like. You got your one of each enemy laid out, you got the player, the goal, some objects, and then the different interactables. You can click on it, just make sure it's the top layer because they have stuff under it. Ignore that. You can change this to whatever card you want. You can change it to any of these other things from each one. Vending machine, how many cards it has. Enemies, you can do the same, change it to another enemy. They should all be under this little enemies tab, and then interactables are under this tab. Yada yada. Items, I guess they're referred to as items, whatever. This is what they look like in the editor. They'll look normal in actual game. With the goal and like barrels and stuff, you can change it to the different types: breakable platform, glass, barrel, environmental portal, which is this. You see in the green levels normally. You want to make sure the number corresponds to the teleporter that it teleports you to. It's invisible, but that is where the player will go. That is actually where the player's feet will spawn at. So, like, the player will spawn up here, the feet being right here. So just make sure you keep that in mind. Barrels, there is a bigger barrel. I don't think it makes a difference in blast size. So keep that in mind. That is prefabs. You don't need to change anything. Just keep it as is. It doesn't need to be checkmarked or anything like that. Importing, you can just go anywhere in this assets area. Right click, import new asset. Select whatever it is you want to import. You can select multiple things. You can also just drag in from a folder off to the side into here and it should work. You also, to import packages, you right click, import package, custom package. It should have the extension .unity package. You click on it, then hit import. It's that simple. Uh, as for adding textures, let me just go to one of these. To just create a normal texture, just right click anywhere in the assets thing, like in a folder, whatever. Right click, create, down here to material, and ignore that. You can do whatever color you want, and you literally just drag it. Drag it to whatever you want. I don't know how it works, if it even works if you put it onto an enemy or what, but normally you can just do this onto anything. But for specific things, when you download, it should give you some base textures. I'm just going to use this for an example. This is the same thing where you right click, create material, but then it'll sometimes give you stuff like this that is not already put on it. It'll give you a base map and then a normal map. Unity will want to make you change the normal map. Keep it at default, not normal map. Or at least I'm pretty sure that's how it should be. You can also still drag it. Some textures are specific for what it is you need to drag them onto, like this. Oh, it already has the texture on it. That's cool. But yeah, this would be something you drag onto. You would place the base map here, the normal map there. Some textures have a metallic map or a height map that you would put there or there. And then there are things with collision. So a lot of the items you drag when you import them, whether it be arches, columns, pillars, like just other giant things, whatever, they will not have collision whenever you drag them in from like the prefabs area, whatever. You will need to add them. You don't want to add them on the top layer here. It will be the components inside that will need the colliders. This one already has the collider added, but you'd basically you can click twice to where it's highlighted like this, orange. Instead of just normal highlight, clicking twice, it selects this part. You would add component, just search up mesh collider. Uh, Things like cylinders, if you do game object, 3D object, cube, these will have their colliders. Oh yeah, and you can tap F to like basically teleport to the object. Uh, these will have their colliders on them by default because they're just a regular old object. But with spheres, cylinders, and capsules, they do have a like spherical hitbox, so you might want to change that, especially for cylinders, because it's rather annoying. And especially if you change their shape, so you in that case you just want to add a mesh collider. It's a good rule of thumb, in my opinion. Yeah, mesh collider, that's added. Like I said, make sure it's on the child objects here and here. Some have multiple child objects, others only have one. This applies for textures as well, where some game objects have multiple child objects that you can apply different textures to, which is really cool. There's textures like this which wrap specifically around certain objects. This is specific for this type of window. That's why it looks all weird. And that's it for prefabs, textures, imports, and collisions. Lastly, tags. That is something here. Like you have select an object, tag. Most are going to be untagged. You can add boost. That is how you get the above, like not above water, but that is how you get the water boost on an object. Waterways should have that tag applied to them by default. As for getting above water boost to work, that's something you can message me about. I cannot be bothered to explain it. That, and I also don't fully understand how it works. Hope this was helpful. Thank you.